Hey everyone, Arnaldo Offerman with Master School Dances, here to talk about photography for DJs. So, first of all, when it comes to choosing a camera and a lens, the most important part is choosing a good body. There's three different types of sensors out there, and it's really dwindled down to two. You have your full frame sensor, you have your APS-C, and you have your APS-A. Inside to the sensor, it's only getting parallel rays of light. That means that as we're shooting, the front is going to be in focus, the back is going to be a lot more in focus as well, but the image is going to be significantly darker because you're letting less light in. Using these examples that I'm showing on the screen now, you're going to see this image that was shot at a low aperture value shown on the screen. And then the same image, ISO, everything was all left the same. Aperture was moved to a much higher value, so it was a less direct light coming in. With TV and AV, you choose either your shutter speed or your aperture, and then your exposure, and then the camera does the rest. So for example, let's say I'm shooting a gig log and there's tons of lights going everywhere and it's making my exposure go crazy. I can actually tell my camera, okay, I want it to be this bright or this dark the entire time, but I need to make sure that my camera stays exactly at 1/50th of a second, or it stays at 2.8. And all the settings will change around to make sure that it stays at the exposure you want by keeping either the shutter value or your aperture value that you've chosen. To lens, and I show how the entire venue has been transformed with my lighting, but my DJ setup isn't in the way, that it actually adds to the overall look of the room. Now the same thing goes when you're actually shooting people dancing. If you are wanting just the lights and you don't care if their faces are shown, you have to make sure you have floods. And I discuss about this on the other Master School Dance videos. You gotta have floods when you're doing a light show. As you're shooting, the floods will almost work like off-camera flashes. You can use the floods to your advantage to get some really cool photos of the people dancing. And as you're actually editing the photos, you're gonna notice that their faces may not even be visible. Again, not a big deal for us. We're not there to capture the faces of people. We're there to capture our lighting. So keep that in mind. But let's say it's still a little bit too dark. Pop in your flash. You can diffuse it with one of these. And of course, it makes the flash go all the way out. Different diffusers do different things. Do your research on that. Find one that you like. You can bounce it off the ceiling, or you can aim it directly out. And again, hit your little center button and you can control your light.